Make sure it connects. 1 second. Okay, we're good. Okay, so welcome everybody. I'm so glad that you guys are on here and excited to just share some tips with you guys to get you guys all off to the strongest possible start during our boom season. If you haven't already been told by your upline, or you haven't heard me talk about it on the team page or one of the other leaders, this is literally our busiest season of the year. This is the season when things happen really quickly. And this is the season when lives literally are changed. And that's not just some cliche thing we say, like this is the season when big things happen. I'm gonna give you guys just a little bit of background on my story for anyone that is brand new and doesn't know me yet, but my name is Brittany Hayes. If you're on this Zoom, I am your triple diamond upline. I've been in the business for 19 months. I joined after watching my enroller, Claire Flores, so she's all of you guys' presidential upline. I joined after watching her for 11 months, and I literally watched her radically change her family's life. I had no clue what this company was. I had never even heard of it before I saw her start posting about it. And I watched her retire her husband. I watched her start making a 6-figure income. And I just watched her quite literally live the life of her dreams. And I remember just thinking like, wow, this is crazy. I wonder if I could do it too. And finally, after we were at a point where we were covered in debt, like debt up to our eyeballs, medical bills, rolling in right and left. I had just had my 4th baby. I remember very vividly, like it was yesterday, like crying out to God for a solution. And I still remember this, like it was yesterday, hearing him say, Brittany, the solution's been right in front of you all along. Just trust me. And so I jumped in completely with faith. I didn't know really what I would be doing, didn't know if I'd be any good at it. But I knew that, if she could do it, so could I. And I knew that as long as I was willing to learn and work hard, God would bless my efforts and he would step in and equip me wherever I did fall short. And it's so true, you guys. He's been there every step of the way. And I have yet to see someone come in and work hard in this company and not experience the same thing and not experience, God coming in and meeting them and, doing everything that they can't do. I'm a firm believer when you do everything you can do, that's when God steps in and does everything you can't do. So I'm just so excited for all of you that you all have joined. We've been in the business 19 months and we've been a full-time family for a year. 7 months in, I retired Zach, my husband, and he came home. And by our 1-year anniversary, we were making a multiple 6-figure income. We moved our family to the beach and we earned over $130,000 in bonuses. And that all happened. All those big things I just said, those big milestones, they happened from January to June, which is this season we're in right now. So I just want you guys to understand like the power of this season and like what can happen if you work hard right now. So anyways, we're just going to jump right in and get started. So the number one thing that I can tell you if you're brand new is you don't want to waste any time whatsoever. This is the season I've just kind of done rambling on about, that things happen so fast. And so you don't want to waste any time. So there's no need to wait for your kit to come in the mail. There's nothing special in your kit that's going to help you be successful. There's no need to wait for that to come in. There's no need to, delay, to try to learn about products first or anything like that. And I say that to say, because I know a lot of people have that personality that they feel like they just really need to learn everything before they get started. And the thing about it is with this business, you'll never have all the answers. You'll never stop learning. Even where I'm at in this business right now, being a triple diamond in with the business for 19 months, I still don't have all the answers. I'm still learning stuff every day. Just this past weekend, we were at our incredible conference and I learned so much, especially, when our Dr. Don was up there talking and several of the panels. I learned so much good information. And in this business, you will never stop being a student. You'll never stop learning. And so it's just so important to get that out of your head in the beginning that you have to know everything before you actually start, because you'll never know everything. So just getting started and understanding that you will learn as you go is the best thing that you can do. So the first thing that you're going to want to do when you get started is you're going to want to make your first post. So we have a first post example in the files of our team page of Fire. It's already written out for you. It's a template. You're going to want to post this with a selfie of you. You want to pick one of your best pictures, something that's really eye-catching, that people are going to stop scrolling and look at. So either a selfie, a family picture, a picture of you and your baby, you and your kids if you're a mom, you and your significant other, whatever. And it can be even like an old picture. So like if you're like, oh my gosh, I have no recent pictures, use your Christmas card picture, just like anything that's a good picture will do. So use, pick a good picture and then get really real in that first part. Open up and tell people why you joined. Get as real as you can. And then we give you the closing in that example. And you're just going to literally take that closing and put that in there. You're going to want to make sure you don't steer away from that closing at all. Like don't change that up because that's written for your benefit. Being in this business, I have definitely, gotten into a more just permanent marketing mindset. And so that's one of my strengths personally is knowing what gets people's attention and what people stop scrolling and look at, and then also what people feel so compelled to message you about. And so the way this is worded is it specifically says, like, if anybody is interested in helping me get started while I'm on my new journey, I am in need of product testers to build my portfolio. These product testers will get to try any one of our 50 plus products at my 40% off distributor discount in exchange for their honest review and feedback. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in, please let me know as I only have a limited number of spots. So you're not going to want to change that up at all. You write the beginning personal to you, but then make sure you put that closing blurb because that is written to get people to respond. And so whenever you start getting people responding that are saying things like, oh, I would love to help you out. I'll try something. Or, maybe they comment, maybe they message you. If they comment on there, make sure you always respond to people in private messenger. So you're going to want to just reply to the comment and just say messaging you. That's it. And then you're going to take all the conversations over to Messenger. That way, you have better control of the conversations and you're not answering things publicly that other people might have that same question. You want everybody to have to ask you so you can take all those conversations over privately. And then as far as responding to people, utilize your upline, utilize your leadership on this page. So whoever your enroller is, they have made a first post too, and they have had to answer, those initial comments as well too. And so that is what we are here for, is to get you off to a strong start. So don't, worry about that. Don't get stressed about that. If people ask you something you don't know, like that's what we're here for. We're going to walk you through all of that. Your job is just getting that first post out there and then messaging the people. So what I recommend, and this is something that your upline will help, or your enroller will help you with as well too. Whenever people say that, like, oh, I would like to try something, or I'll help you out, or whatever the case may be, you're going to want to message them the goals. And we have all of this in the files of Fire Tribe for you. So if you haven't already been tagged, they're not already on here. If they're on here, they're probably tagging you right now. But if not, just ask your enroller to tag you in, the first post example, the goals, and then the responses to the goals to get started. The goals, you're just basically going to copy those and you're going to send those over to your person that commented on your post. You're going to message them and you're going to say, hey, here, I'm so excited to get you started on something. I know you're going to love whatever you try. We have literally over 50 products, so it can be a little overwhelming. So the easiest way to go from here is just you take a look at these goals and let me know which ones stand out to you. And then we will go from there. And I'll pair you with the product that accomplishes those goals. And so send them the goals. And then they're going to read over them and they're going to immediately tell you like 1, 5, 7. Or, some people will have like a lot. They'll be like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. So like whatever they give you, your enroller is also going to have tagged you in a second file that is called responses to goals. And so that has all the responses already typed out with pricing and everything, like pricing with the discount, pricing retail. And you're going to literally be able to just send those responses over. And so it's all the hard work's already done for you. All the guesswork is out. And then because a lot of you are brand new, I know some of you are on here, have been on here for a little bit longer, so you've already been taught this, but I want to make sure the new people know this, especially I know this is going to be recorded and sent to some of the new people who are working late tonight. But how our company works is we have 2 prices on every single product. We have a retail price and we have a low customer price. And I'm actually going to let Amanda, are you on here now? I think I see you on here. If you're still busy, I'll cover this. I was going to let Amanda jump in and explain this part to you guys. But basically, so we have a retail price and a loyal customer price. And that is when we refer to product tester pricing or, 40% off discount spot or a coupon code or anything like that, that you'll see like me post and all the other leaders on this team post. That is all the loyal customer price. So we, again, having a marketing mind, we use different phrases, different terms, to get people's attention and to get, people reaching out and commenting and, creating that sense of urgency. And so, but it all comes back to the loyal customer price, whichever, no matter what the wording was that was used. And so anyways, that being said, they get, everyone always is going to choose the loyal customer program, no matter how you marketed it, product test or whatever. And that means they're going to get 40% off of their initial purchase. And whatever they get today, they're going to agree to try one thing in March and one thing in April. So whatever, and if you're watching the Zoom at a later time, it's one thing today and one thing the next 2 months. It can be anything at all. We have over 50 products starting at just $15. They're going to get the 40% off discount on whatever they choose. They can get multiple things, one thing, they can mix and match. It can be the same thing, different things. Like literally it's completely flexible. And then after that 3 months, they're not obligated to order anything anymore, but the most amazing part of this is they get to keep the discount for life. And so even if it's like an entire year down the road, they'll always get 40% off. And then they get 10% back in free product gifted on their account as well too. So it's an incredible deal. Everyone chooses that option, as you can imagine. It's a no-brainer. And so basically that is going to be how you're signing people up. People are going to want to choose that lower price option. And then that creates strong residual income for you because you definitely have orders coming in from that person for 3 months, usually longer because most people fall in love with what they're using and want to use it longer. And our company puts lots of good incentives in to keep people ordering longer if they choose to. So that being said, that is the difference in the pricing. So after you pair people with the products that, accomplish the goals that they have told you that they have, the next step is, closing the deal. So after you've given them the info, they're either, one of a couple things is going to happen. They're either going to tell you, okay, great, let's go ahead and start with the hair, skin, and nails. Or some people will say, okay, great, I want to start with all of it right now. So whatever they say, just go ahead and, get their order in. So in the Files of Fire Tribe, in the product tester pricing wording, I have the pricing template for how you tell people, exactly how I just explained to you the 40% off discount and how that works. And then underneath that, I have a little blurb, and I highly recommend saving this as a text replacement in your phone. I literally have it on my iPhone. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm going to see if I can show it because I was just showing someone the other day, and let me look at my phone now. They never used it. But so I can literally, can you guys see this? Okay, I can type in ordering LC. I don't know if you can see. And click this, and then boom, whole thing comes up. So all I did was type in ordering LC, and then the whole little blurb comes up. It's super easy. So I highly recommend if you have an iPhone doing text replacement for this because you will be using this all the time to seal the deal. And then Android might have it too. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with Android, but they may have text replacement too. I'm not sure. But basically it just says, okay, great, I can get your order through. I just need your phone number, your email, your address, your card number, and your expiration. I don't need the security code or anything like that. After I get your order through for you, I will send you your system generated login info, and you'll be able to log on and view everything. So super simple. When they reply with their info, you're just going to go into your eSuite, which if you haven't already, if you're brand new, you haven't logged on to your eSuite, get with your enroller so they can help you get logged on and answer your tax questions and stuff. But basically, whenever you log onto your eSuite, you're going to click orders, you're going to click enroll a new customer, and then you're going to click loyal customer. And then from there, it's super straightforward. You're going to select the products that they wanted, and then you're going to put their info in. The info that they just sent you, you're going to input that. I always make my customer's password their first name and their last initial, so it's easy for me to remember. And then if they want to change it, they can. And then, yeah, at the end, you check a box, you sign their name under the payment info, and you submit it. And then whenever you submit it, you're going to have an order confirmation screen that's going to have their login ID that the system generates for them, and then the password that you created. I literally just screenshot that little info. So if I'm doing it on my computer, I'm just going to zoom in and get that one little spot. And then I send that to them. And I just say, okay, your order's in, here's your login info. My website is, give them your website. And for those of you that are brand new, your website is just whatever you selected at signup.myitworks.com. So like for me, it's brittanyhayes.myitworks.com. So it's going to be probably your name is what you picked, maybe your first name, last initial. But just say, okay, great, your order's in. Here's your login info. My website is blah, blah, blah. You should get your order in about a week. And that's it. You're done. You've enrolled your first customer. So it's super important to make sure that, you know, you're, like I said in the beginning, you're utilizing your enrollers' help for these initial conversations because they've been through some of these conversations before and they, you know, they can help you with anything that comes across. If someone does ask you kind of like a weird question, or maybe it's not even a hard question, but it's, you know, you're brand new, you're not sure what to say, they'll be there, they'll have your back. If it's ever like a weird hour and maybe your enroller is then available, you can always post in the team page in Fire Tribe. You can post a screenshot and ask, you know, what to say. And there's so many amazing people on our team that will be happy to help you and quick to respond. So please don't hesitate to post in the team page anytime, especially if you know your enroller's working or you know, maybe you think they're already in bed, you know, whatever the case is, like just don't hesitate to utilize the team page because we're all one big family and we're all here to support each other and back each other up, and someone will definitely answer you. Okay. So your next step that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make your second post. And so we have a second post example in the files as well. And this is basically just creating a little more sense of urgency for what you've already announced. So you've already announced that you have some product tester spots available to build your portfolio. And if they're interested, contact you. And by this point, you've already gotten interest. You know, people have commented. Well, the next step is the second post. And the second post just says like, wow, thank you guys so much. You guys have blown me away with your support. I now only have, you know, 4 remaining spots available. These spots are absolutely first come, first serve. So if you're wanting to try something as one of my product testers to help me build my portfolio, you know, let me know ASAP. You'll get my 40% off discount. You know, I've only got these 4 spots. I don't remember exactly what it says. It's in the files, but that's basically the gist of what it says. And you're going to post that with, like, I say, the example I give in the files is like a picture of you looking excited. You know, this is a great opportunity for those of you that love Snapchat. This is an appropriate Snapchat picture. You can do a picture. If you're like me, I was like super insecure about taking selfies when I got started. I just had never taken selfies before. And so I would grab I grabbed one of my kids for like these kind of posts, and I would be like, Gavin, smile with me. And we would make like a, you know, just a big smile, big cheese face together. So whatever works, just, you know, that's kind of the gist of your second post. And then from this point, we want to really bring you into like strong posting. And I'm going to if Amanda's on here now, I'm going to let her kind of take over what just general day-to-day posting should look like. Are you on here, Amanda? Sorry, I think like I tried to unmute you and you tried to unmute it at the same time. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Okay, hold on, guys. All right, there we go. Okay, sorry. I think I was clicking at the same time as you. Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm not sure if you can hear me. If you can, I can't hear you.
I can hear you. Can everyone else hear okay? Someone comment in the chat if you can hear or not. Anybody? Okay, y'all can hear? Okay. It may just be Amanda's right now.
Brittany.
Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you, Amanda. Okay, can you,
Okay.
I guess I can just talk now. I'm not sure. Can you hear me now? I heard you laugh.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. There's like a crazy storm, like it's hailing outside and it's like completely crazy. Like, I don't know, like sounds like there's trees falling down. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I don't hear you at all. Like you sound like a robot, but okay. So what do you want me to talk about? I didn't even hear what you said.
Okay, so you're just gonna go into like after they've made their first post and their second post, like how they kind of carry on the next day and the next day and so on and so forth with posting. Just like a general overview.
Okay, well, in general, like one of the very first things that I think to do that's really important is we need to make sure that our posts are attracting attention. And the way that we're going to do that, or the way that our team promotes doing that, is we use a couple specific photo editing apps. So you're going to want to download those immediately and familiarize yourself with them. They can be a little bit tricky at first, but they're actually, for the most part, they're pretty simple to use, the ones that we've selected. We recommend you download PicTapGo. That is it's just a basic photo editing app. There's filters on it, and the filters that we use are crispity, contrast, and then bright side. Now, I like to give sometimes a little bit of lights on if I took a picture inside and it looks dark. And sometimes you can cool it down a little bit if something looks too yellow, because you want it to look really clean. That's really important. You can make the best post in the world, but if you don't have a good photo on there, it's not going to attract attention. Unfortunately, that's just how it works. So it's really important to make sure that you're editing your photos. And if you need help with that, or if you want us to check one that you did and make sure that you're doing it right, just talk to your enroller and get with them, and they will help you. The other one that we recommend to use for photoshopping is Perfect 365, or I also like Photo Wonder. I know that nobody else really uses that one, but I like that one a lot. And then the third one that I want to recommend everybody download is called Word Swag. And that one is really useful. Mary just made a really awesome post that I think it said, "Why Not You," that we made together. And you can use Word Swag, and basically it's a photo editing tool that a lot of graphic designers use to take a photo. So they have stock photos, so they'll have something with like a marble background, or like, I don't know, like fireworks or the water or mountains or grass or the sunset or something. Like, yes, Heather, awesome, good job. But basically you can put something on there. And what I use Word Swag most for is not necessarily the things like I just talked about with Mary. If anyone wants to go to Mary Briggs Smiley's page and see an example, it's the Why Not You. But what I use Word Swag most for is my morning motivational posts, and I'll touch on that in a second. I like to look through Pinterest and find quotes or I a lot of times take it from notes that I took the previous week's sermon from our pastor. And it's a motivational post that's in some way inspirational and just gets me focused and like started on my day. But I don't like to use the Pinterest ones because I don't want it to be something that people have already seen. And I want it to be something that's applicable to my life. So I'll take like whatever verse it is or whatever quote it is and put it on an appropriate background and make it look pretty. So usually that means that I'm going to make the writing a little bit transparent. It's not going to be completely black where it looks like it's written on with a marker. I hope this makes sense. Should I touch on the plan for posting, like our formula for posting? I wasn't able to hear like what you were saying the whole time, basically. Okay, so what I'm talking about with the morning motivational post, I'm going to lay this out, and I'm sorry if I'm like going backwards, but So what we recommend after your first post that's announcing your business and after the second post that Brittany talked about is we recommend trying to make a plan for your posting. Now, everybody's plan looks different, and maybe you can't make 6 posts a day like Brittany does. But what Brittany recommends and what we think does work best if you're able to do it is this. A motivational post in the morning, or Brittany always says you can make something funny, like if you are a jokester and that's your personality type, you can like put some kind of humor, something that's basically just going to start your day off, on a positive note, and it gets you started, headed in the right direction. And we recommend always using some type of photo. So that's what I was talking about, where I'll get a photo and use word swag to put my quote. Basically just that. And then the second post that we recommend doing is a product post. And now what we talk about when we're talking about a product post is a post where we are advertising the product. But what's a little bit different about what you would think as an advertisement for a product is I know, but basically what we want to do is we want to demonstrate how the products fit into our life. So we want to make sure that we are posting about, like if I'm drinking a shake, I drink a shake pretty much every single day. I will try to make a post about shake. And in that post, I usually give some bullet point information about the shake. And I usually give an invitation to order at the end. And I like to make it urgent. Brittany says we should always create a sense of urgency, but I like to change it up a little bit. And I like to make it seem like I'm talking to one of my friends. You don't want it to seem like an ad, and you don't want it to seem like you're selling something. Or like that's all you're trying to do. What your first goal should be is just demonstrating how the products fit into your life, which is why it's important to be a product of the product. The second post that you're going to make, and also it's really good to post one of those pictures with like a picture of your face. So like if you're drinking a shake, put it like here and like take a picture and then say, on my way to Target, drinking my morning shake. It's so pricing there. Like, don't ever do that, because then they already have all the information. That's the easiest thing for them to ask you is, how much does it cost? So you want to get them to ask you a question. You want to be able to engage with them so that you can have a conversation and give them a little bit more information. Also in Freedom Legacy and Elite Legacy of photos of the products that are really pretty. So they're like professional photos. I'm not exactly sure who all put them up there, but they're beautiful. And you can use those. Okay. I think that's about it. Brittany, do you have anything else to talk about for product posts?
So yeah, everything Amanda said, when possible, put your face in there for sure, because that's going to be more eye-catching and get people's attention. But also, we have lots of before and afters in the team pages. Post before and afters of products like Cleanse, Hair, Skin, and Nails, Keto Coffee. Those are like our top sellers. Oh, yeah. And then what I recommend is just deleting the before and afters 24 hours later. So I don't want like before and afters all over my feed on Facebook or Instagram. So what I'll do is I'll post them. I mean, I post before and afters pretty much every day, but I always delete them the next morning when I wake up. So that way they're not there anymore. And if you had a lot of likers or comments or something and you don't want to lose it, you can just change the privacy to me only. And so that way you can still see it, but it's not on your feed anymore. And then on Instagram, you actually just archive the post. So that's actually perfect. That's what I always do, is I don't delete it, I archive it, because you can always access your archive posts, see the likers, see the comments and everything, but it's no longer on your Instagram. So make sure you're posting before and afters. I recommend posting the clean before and afters. And what I mean by that, it's the ones that literally just look like a simple collage, like 2 side-by-side pictures. I don't recommend posting the ones with like all the black, green, and bling and all the writing, just because it gets to the point where it's a little too spammy looking. And studies have shown that like if something looks like an ad, people literally just scroll right past it. And so you want it to not look like an ad. You want it to be something that people are like scrolling and they're like, whoa, what's that? You know? And the cleaner the picture is, the more likely they're going to stop and look at it. So definitely, you know, make sure you're utilizing that. If I ever see a really good before and after that does have the like black, green, and bling frame around it, I just crop it. So I'll save it to my camera roll, and then I will literally just crop it down to where it's just the clean picture, and then I'll use that. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. I make sure, like Amanda said, like you want your opening line to the post to be something that gets people's attention, that they're going to like stop and read the rest of what you have to say. And then the body of the post, I put like, I call that the meat and the potatoes. Like that's the stuff you really want them to know. Like Amanda said, don't give away too much info because you want them to ask you questions. So no pricing, nothing like that. But you know, like that's the catchy stuff. Like you can look at my cleanse post from today to see what I mean. But I gave some like really good info about why you should cleanse, like if you're feeling these symptoms. And then the very ending line, like Amanda said, you can change this up every time. It just needs to be something urgent. So like, I just got my hands on 5 coupon codes, you know, message me, first come, first serve, if you're interested. And then that way people are like, oh, I need to message her right now. So that's pretty much how I handle my before and afters. And then, yeah, I just remove them off my feed the next day. So easy peasy. But that, if you're new and you're just getting started and you're like, okay, if you're trying to get, oh, go ahead.
Okay, the other thing that I was thinking about, and I'm not 100% sure that you didn't say this because like my service is terrible right now, but the other thing that I was thinking is Brittany always likes to use, and not every single time, but it really helps, I think, to say, comment jumpstart below or something like that. Like if you, and then in your post, you could say something about how cleanse helps you jumpstart your diet and helps get your body and your system detoxed to maximize like, you know, a healthy lifestyle. So I'll say like, comment or message me jumpstart. Or like a lot of you who joined, there's a good chance you might have joined by like texting somebody the word opportunity. It just makes it really easy to approach someone, and it'll make your customers, it'll make it really easy for them to reach out to you and basically just demonstrate their interest for the product without them having to think about what should they write to you, because should they write, I want to buy it, or what is it? So it just makes it really easy for them to reach out to you if you can pick one word that somehow goes with your post. Like if it's for hair, skin, and nails, you can say comment or post mermaid, or drop your favorite emoji below. Like that works really well too. Just make it easy for them to reach out to you so they don't have to like sit there and type out a message. And I think that's pretty helpful too. I'm going to move on to the personal posts. Yeah. So what I like to do with my personal posts is I like to, in a roundabout way, actually make it more about the business than personal, but not making that obvious, if that makes sense. So I like to demonstrate with my personal posts. It's usually stuff about my baby. I like to demonstrate the fact and like kind of point out without saying it that I'm home in the middle of the afternoon because I'm not at work. Like, and just because people relate to that. So I'll post a picture of my child like I did this afternoon. He's sick today. And I posted a picture of him all wrapped up in a blanket and said something about, I'm so happy that I get to stay home with him. That's not a direct opportunity post. It's not like join my team now, but it is something that shares about your life. I'm sharing, and you know, people relate to that. Like people have messaged me today and said, hey, I'm praying for you. Our baby is teething too. Or called me and said, oh, I wondered why you weren't at Bible study. I hope he's feeling better. Or people, I'll see them like a week later and they'll be like, is he feeling better? So like people see that and they relate to that. But also what they're seeing and what they might not like realize that they're seeing is they're seeing the fact that I was home on a Tuesday afternoon. I was home on a Tuesday afternoon watching cartoons with my child and still making an income. That's what I was doing. And that's kind of like what gets in the back of your mind. So we always encourage to be as vulnerable as possible and as open and sharing of your life, and just to be as real and genuine as possible. Don't try to be anybody else, because people pick up on that, and it's just not, it's not effective and it's not honest. So we encourage you to just be yourself. And also for the personal post, the one thing that I will say is it's very important to brand your business. And what I mean by that is when we're making personal posts or even the business posts or the product posts, we try to pick 4 to 6 things that embody you like at your core. Like for me, mine are actually written right underneath my name, and I didn't even introduce myself whenever I came on, and I couldn't hear if Brittany did. So for those of you, if she didn't, my name on Facebook is Amanda Annette Steyn, Steyn, and right underneath my name, you'll see wife, mama, follower of Christ, world traveler, runner. I think it says something like that. So when I'm making my personal posts, I try to make it about one of those things. And that makes it really simple for me to think about what I want to post about. Because otherwise you kind of sit there and you're like, I don't know, I don't really want to post anything. But if you haven't posted anything about running for a couple days, then post about running, you know? Or if you haven't posted about, you know, for me personally, if I haven't posted about, you know, my walk with Christ, then I can share a verse, or I can share something that I learned the past week. And like, that's a personal post because it relates to me. And it just tells my followers who I am and what I'm about. And it makes me a real person to people who don't know me in real life. So that's what we mean by personal posts. Do you have anything to add, Britt?
No, I think that sums it up really well for personal posts. Just like anything you posted before It Works came into your life, about your life, like that's the stuff that you want to keep posting. You literally want to just transform your posting to be everything you did before, and then, you know, slide It Works in, like slide the product post in, slide the business opportunity post in. And then the only thing we recommend not doing, if you did before, is just no spammy stuff at all. So like, don't like share articles and videos and stuff. And then no negativity on your Facebook. I mean, I'm sure most of you on here don't, but you definitely don't want to post like negative stuff or drama or anything like that. So, and again, I'm sure that doesn't even apply to most of you, right. But just stay away from like confrontational topics. Like obviously we all have opinions on politics and, you know, vaccines and this and that and the other, but like there's a place for that, and it's private conversations with people, not on your Facebook, because you have to look at your Facebook now as like you are a business owner and this is your storefront. Like your Facebook and your Instagram is now like, that's like if you owned a restaurant, like that's your restaurant, you know? And so you can't, you know, put out confrontational stuff that's like, you know, going to start all these hot debates, because what happens is you now alienate half your market, because half your market's going to agree with you and half of them are not. And so, you know, you won't ever see me, no matter how strong of a political view I have about something, you're not going to see me post it on Facebook. Maybe before It Works I would have, but not anymore, because, you know, I have people, you know, that disagree with me that are on my team, or I have people that disagree with me that are, you know, my customers. And I don't ever want to make anyone feel, you know, like I'm no longer someone that they can, you know, like trust and have conversations with. And so just make sure if that is something you have been doing before It Works, you know, you want to stay away from it, and just keep your social media. The number one thing is just keep it super positive, keep it uplifting, keep it, you know, encouraging, and just keep it very just, you know, a place people like to be, like be a light in people's life. Because ultimately that's what we're all here to do, is to make a difference, not just in our own lives, but in other people's lives too. And, you know, that's the way you do it. It's just by being positive and being something people like to see. Okay. Yeah. So and that's pretty much
helps
like
keep you in check and helps you, sorry.
You're fine. Go ahead.
Sorry. Okay. It's like I've got a serious delay going on here. So I was just going to say it also helps keep you in check and helps keep you like positive. And the one thing that I want to say about being positive and making sure that your posts are never negative is that doesn't mean that you have to pretend like everything in your life is perfect, because that's not relatable. It's not honest, and it's not real. Like for example, my post today about my child being sick, I'm not pretending like everything is perfect, but I'm also not being negative about it. Like, I'm counting my blessings and counting my blessings in the fact that I get to stay home and take care of him. And, you know, like, thankfully the fever wasn't that bad. So it's okay to like share if you're having a rough time, as long as you have a good attitude about it. And that's the kind of thing that people can relate to as well. Like, or like, we have people whose husbands are in the military, and it's not like you would have to be like, I'm thrilled that my husband is deployed. But you just need to make sure that you maintain a positive attitude and, you know, keep yourself in check as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. Amanda really hit the nail on the head with that. Like, you can be real and like
Should
share relatable
Should I
things
do
that
the
are
business
going
opportunity
on.
one too, Britt? I'm sorry, I totally can't hear you.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why. That's weird. But yeah, just make sure you just stay away from like when you are sharing stuff that, you know, you
frozen. I don't hear anything.
Can everybody else hear me? Someone comment in the comments if you can hear me. I don't know if it's my internet or if it's Amanda's internet. Okay, Mandy can hear me. I think it's Amanda's internet. Let me text Amanda. Can you hear me, Amanda, or no? Hold on.
Okay, Tabitha can hear me. Okay, well, I'm going to move on to the business post one. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry for the confusion. It must just be my service. It's like ridiculous. Yeah, Britt, it's got to be my internet. Although I've got my MacBook going on our Wi-Fi, and I've got this going on Verizon. So sorry, I apologize, y'all. It's usually not like this. There's crazy hail outside. Okay, so we do motivational, product, personal, product, personal, and then in the last, like the very last one, number 6 that we do, and this is important, so even if you're not doing 6 a day, make sure you're doing this one, is sharing the business opportunity post. And we usually recommend that you do that in the evening, because that's when people are off work. So that's when social media traffic is the highest, and that's when your posts are going to get the most traffic. People are going to see your posts more, because like on Facebook, when you post something is important, because that affects who's seeing it and when it's going to be seen. And now with the business opportunity posts, I usually post something that's a picture of me and my family. I almost always post a picture of something with my face. So me with my friends, or me with my child or something. And basically what I just do is I just share my story, the same story in a different way every night. And you can look to some of our leaders' pages for inspiration for that. Brittany makes fantastic posts. She does a really good job of sharing how the business has completely changed her life. But she does it in different ways, and she does it like, she directs it at different people, if that makes sense. Now, the one thing that I will say is it's challenging sometimes at first to get used to making these posts, because you're brand new. You haven't gotten a $5,000 bonus yet. You haven't gotten your $10,000 bonus yet. You're not making a full-time income yet. So then what you do is you borrow our stories, and you can share about how for 6 months, I have watched Brittany, and I have watched her. This is what I posted at first, because she was in for like 6 months before I joined. I watched her completely change her family's life. I am so thankful to be part of a company that values family time, and I am so excited for what's to come, or what's coming for me. I am going for a huge promotion this month, and basically what you say, you always want to say where you're going. So you tell your story, you tell why you joined, like, which is going to be, you saw your enroller having success typically. And just say like what your plan, like what your dream is. Like if you want to retire your husband, you want to bring your husband home, or you want to be able to support your husband being in full-time ministry, or you want to come home yourself and be a full-time mama, or maybe you want to pursue, I don't know what your goal is, but somehow incorporate that into it, and then say where you're going. I am running towards this big promotion, and I cannot wait to see what God has in store for me for the year, or I cannot wait to see what this business has in store for me. I'm sorry, my dog is crazy. Life, people, life. Okay. And it's important for that as well. I strongly recommend, I have had great success from this the past couple weeks, picking a word. that people respond. So if this relates to you and you want more information, comment or text legacy if you want to, make a legacy for your family, or comment or text opportunity too, and then put your phone number. And I didn't used to put my phone number on there for a very, very, very long time because I thought that creepy people were going to send me messages or something, but it hasn't happened. And I will say it has been immensely successful. Like, it has been a game changer. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that y'all consider putting your telephone number there for the response portion of the post. And after this, I know it's kind of a lot of information right now. Just go on to Brittany's page and look how she does it, or go on to your enrollers page and look how they do it, so that you can get examples of this. There was something else that I was thinking just now as far as that's concerned. Do you have anything to say, Britt?
Sorry, I didn't mute myself. The only thing I would really hit on is just that there is so much power in your story. So don't be afraid to open up, and don't believe the lie that it's really easy to tell yourself in the beginning that you don't have anything to say. Like Amanda said, you can borrow your enroller story, you can borrow my story, you can always use one of our stories to tell, but then talk about where you're going. I did a live video in Freedom Legacy last night, specifically on, what attracts people to the business. And one thing I said in there was that, you want to vulnerably share where you came from and then confidently share where you're going. And so that's going to look like different things to different people. But I promise you, when you're confident and excited about the future, other people want to come with you. And you may not have even made, $1,000 yet. You may have gotten your first check and it was $50, but when you're excited and you're like, I am so pumped, this is going to be the year that, I'm able to quit my full-time job and come home, and you're posting that all the time, people can't help but notice, and they can't help but notice there's something different about you. You're positive, you have a good attitude, you're hopeful for your future. That already is more things than we can say about the average American. So just don't be afraid to be excited and be confident. And just know that you're here for a reason, and you would have not joined this business if, you didn't deep down know there was something in it for you, and that there was hope for your future too. And so just make sure you constantly keep that belief in the forefront of your mind. So, one thing I wanted to hit on too, now that we've kind of gone over what posting should look like, is that every single one of you on here right now is eligible for a $100 shopping spree when you get your first 4 LCs in your first 30 days. So this is super, super important. You don't want to miss that. There's no catch. It's literally just $100 in free product. And then that also qualifies you for all the bonuses. So these are 2 very important milestones, all tied into one. So going back to making that first post and promptly responding, people using your enrollers help to help you with responses and everything in between. Make sure you don't delay, because you only have 30 days to get that. And every single one of you can get your first 4 customers in 30 days, no problem. I got my first 4 customers in my first 5 days. I know Amanda got hers in her first couple weeks too. It's something that's very doable if you're just being consistent. If you're just posting and, following these basic steps we give you. We've been down this road before, so we know exactly what it takes to make progress and to, constantly be forward motion. So just make sure you're following the steps, and that if you do feel like you've hit a roadblock, you do feel like you're kind of, at a slump and you're not sure what's next, make sure you're reaching out, reaching out on the team page, reaching out to your enroller, because that's what we're here for. But every single one of you, can get that $100 shopping spree, no problem. And then be qualified for the bonuses. So just don't delay. The other thing that I really wanted to hit on was just, being brand new. It can be really easy to get overwhelmed. And I know this is so much easier said than done, but try not to be overwhelmed. We all start from the same place. And I kind of talked about in the beginning, you're never going to know all the answers. You're never going to have it all figured out. Like I said, I'm still learning stuff, even today, 19 months later, Amanda's still learning stuff. And so don't feel like you have to know everything to be good, and try not to be overwhelmed by information overload. What I really recommend doing is just everyone, from the time you start to even now, I still do this. Watch a training a day, and you don't have to actually watch it. You can listen to it. So there are so many Zooms on my YouTube. There's Zooms on Claire's YouTube. I'm our ambassador upline, Alyssa. She's got great Zooms all over her YouTube. Just go to someone's YouTube channel and just listen to a YouTube when you're doing your makeup in the morning. Listen to your YouTube when you're in the shower in the morning, or if you take showers at night, before bed. Just like literally put one on your phone and just set your phone there. And while you're showering, just like listen. So it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be like you're literally making time to sit there at your computer and watch a training. Like nothing like that. But just having YouTube on in the background for a 30-minute training while you're doing everyday life. If you're working, listen to one in the car. Instead of listening to the radio in the morning, have a training on your phone in the morning that you can just listen to, or listen to a self-development book. Because if you're listening to a training every single day, it's going to add up. In a week, you're going to have accumulated so many tips from those 7 trainings you've listened to over the past 7 days. And you're going to feel a lot more confident. You're going to feel a lot more equipped. Like you're going to feel like, okay, like I heard a lot of good stuff that actually makes sense to me. Like I feel like I can implement this in my business. And if you have time to do more, do more. When I got started, I was a stay-at-home mom. And so I had 4 kids, ages 6 and under. My youngest was 8 weeks old. And so I was nursing and stuff. But every morning, we had a smart TV in our living room. I would just put YouTube on the TV. And so my kids, once they would eat their breakfast and go into the playroom and start playing, I would put YouTube on the TV, and I would just listen to Zooms on the TV while I like nursed and rocked my baby. So it can literally, depending on what your schedule's like, it's going to look different. But I just want to reiterate that you can squeeze those in so many different times of your day. But make sure you're doing that, because I promise you're going to feel more equipped, you're going to feel more confident, and you're going to feel like you get it, because right now, if you're brand spanking new, you just signed a couple days ago, or you just signed today, it's easy to feel like, what the heck am I doing? But, implementing these steps, putting one foot in front of the other, listening to a training a day, I promise you, it all starts to click. So other than doing a training a day, I really recommend, I consider that self-development. A training a day is most definitely self-development, but also like if you have a good audiobook you want to listen to, audiobooks are great to listen to when you're driving and stuff instead of the radio. I pretty much I hardly ever listen to music anymore being a part of this business. And if you know me, I loved listening to music before, but now I've gotten to where I've just shifted and I have audiobooks playing instead. And it's amazing what that will do for your mental state. You'll feel better. You'll feel more positive. You'll feel happier, in a better mood. You can listen to sermons. I love listening to Stephen Furtick. Pretty much our whole team listens to Stephen Furtick. He's awesome. He has quick 30-minute powerful sermons that are so applicable to your life. So I highly recommend listening to him, and he has everything on his YouTube for free. So I'm going to put that in the comments. But yeah, that is pretty much, we don't want to overwhelm you guys tonight. We just really want to make sure that you guys have those first steps of what it should look like, making that first post, responding to people. Oh, and I wanted to say too, make sure you're writing everyone down that you talk to. So every single conversation you have, you should have their name written down, because right now it may not seem like a big deal. You may be like, I've only talked to 2 people, but that number is going to grow. And so get organized in whatever way is easier for you. If you're totally a technology person, you can have them written in the notes on your iPhone. What I like to do, I do love my phone, but I also am a pen and paper girl. And so I have in my planner, I have a page that says potential customers, and everyone I talk to goes on that page. And then whenever I finally sign them, whether I sign them the next day or whether I sign them, in a week, in a month, I highlight them. And so that way I can keep track really easily of who I've signed and who I haven't. But that makes it easy to follow up. So if you do talk to someone, let's say they comment on your post, you message them, and then you haven't sealed the deal yet. They're definitely interested, but they didn't give you their info, or, the conversation kind of was left hanging. Don't be afraid to check in with them. If they said, hey, I'm interested, I want to get the hair, skin, nails. And then you said, okay, I can get your order through blah, blah, blah. And then they never said anything. Just 24 hours later, just send them a message and say, hey girl, I'm about to sit at my computer and put some orders in. Were you ready to get yours ordered? And then normally they'll come back and they'll say, oh, I'm so sorry. I got busy with my kids, or, oh my goodness, my kid was sick, or, oh, I was walking out the door when you messaged me that. Yes, here's my info. So if someone doesn't answer you, this is something that I heard someone say when I got started, and it was really good for me. And if you're like me, this will help you too. They said, don't assume the worst if someone doesn't answer you right away. It's usually nothing personal. It's just they got busy. People just really get busy. But it's really easy when we're starting a business to be like, oh my gosh, they didn't answer. Oh no, what's going on? So don't think the worst. Just know that people really do get busy. I've gotten so many messages that are like, I've even had someone message me like a week later and they're like, hey girl, I'm so sorry. I wasn't ignoring you. Like blah, 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 blah happened, you know? So just don't think the worst, just follow up with them. If I follow up the next day like that and they don't say anything, I will wait, you know, like a week, and I'll just follow up on Friday. Friday is most people's payday. So if it was a money thing, catching them on a Friday is going to be good because they probably got paid that Friday. And that's a great day to, you know, to get their order in and seal the deal. So definitely just make sure you're staying organized, having everyone written down, and just remember the fortunes and the follow-up. I don't sign people the first time I talk to them always. I mean, sometimes I do, and that's awesome, but sometimes I have to follow up with people several times. I actually have had several customers that I have followed up with like over 15 times. And those people, it's always just a money thing. And so it's just a matter of being consistent and consistently checking in on Fridays. So just know if that happens to you, you're not alone. It happens to me too. And I'm still where I'm at in the business just fine. So don't ever get discouraged and think like, oh my gosh, like I'm just having the worst luck, because that just happens sometimes. If you ever are talking to a lot of people and you're just not signing, I always recommend to screenshot, you know, conversations to your enroller, or screenshot them to, you know, me or, you know, one of the leaders on this team, and like let us take a look and help you with the wording. Because a lot of times if you're talking to a ton of people and you're not sealing the deal, that can be indicative of maybe there just being a little bit of wording that needs to be tweaked. So again, we're all here for each other. So don't be afraid to reach out for help, because that's what we're here for. If you send me a screenshot of, you know, like your last 5 conversations, I can quickly look at that and tell you if there was anything that needed to be changed. And if there is, we'll get it fixed together and we'll, you know, correct that going forward. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out. And then what was I going to say? Oh my goodness, it was something about, always end on a question. This is what I was going to say about the wording. No matter what, make sure you always end on a question and don't say the words, let me know. So when I got started, I just thought that was the natural thing to say, like, let me know if that sounds good. Let me know if you want to get some ordered. And I was having so many people go crickets on me and I could not figure out why. I was like, what am I doing wrong? And then I watched a Zoom from one of our ambassador uplines, Tiffany Herr, and she said in that Zoom, she said, take the words, let me know out of your vocabulary. And she like got all red on the Zoom and she was like, people are not going to let you know. Like if you say, let me know, like you can count them out right now. They're not going to let you know. It's just the way we're wired. She was like, take, let me know out of your vocabulary and end on a question. Did you want to get some ordered? And I'm sitting there watching that and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so true. Like I've been saying this and nobody's answering. And like, they were so interested before. So I switched and I started ending everything with, did you want to get some ordered? And magically people were responding and people were like, yes, actually I do. And so it's so, so important to make sure you end on a question. If you have already kind of said, let me know to a couple people and they haven't said anything, just follow up with them and say, hey girl, did you want to go ahead and get some of that cleanse ordered? You know, so you can always correct it. So don't ever feel like something's not salvageable, because it always is. And again, if you have kind of said something in a conversation and you feel like, oh, maybe I should have said that differently, just screenshot it to your enroller, screenshot it to one of, you know, one of the leaders on this team, and we're happy to help you. So I think that's pretty much the gist of everything I had written down to share with you guys. I just really wanted you guys to know, like, getting off to that strong start initially. If you want to have an online launch party, what that is, it's a Facebook party. Get with your enroller and have them set that up for you. Those can be really fruitful. And it's basically just an online event. It's on Facebook. You would just invite people to it. And then your enroller will help you and they'll share about the products and, you know, the night of the party. And then either your enroller will go live in the party or one of your diamond and above uplines will, or I'll go live and tell my story. And that's a great way for if you do have anyone at the party that's interested in the business, you know, to go ahead and plant that seed and, you know, get that conversation going with them. So if you're interested in an online party to get jump started, definitely reach out to your enroller. We can get that going for you. And then, yeah, my last thing I would say is just don't waste these days. This season is powerful. So many things happen in this season. Make sure you're praying over your business daily. And just like I said, just believing in yourself, because whatever you believe, that's what's going to happen. So if you believe like, okay, I can do this, like she's doing it, I can do it, then you're going to that's going to come out in the way you're acting and the way you're posting. And you're going to operate at a different level. But if you've already counted yourself out and you're telling yourself like, oh, I don't know if I'll be as good as her, blah, blah, blah. Like you're already like, you know what I mean? You're already writing yourself off. So just my best advice is just know that you can do it. I've seen people from all different walks of life completely rock out this business. There's nothing special you have to have. There's no secret sauce. It honestly just comes down to, you know, are you willing to work for it? Are you willing to work for it and be consistent? And, you know, do you believe you can? So anyways, I'm so excited for everyone. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. I would love to answer them. And then Amanda, did you have anything that you wanted to add? And I'm going to write the self-development stuff up.
I'm not, sorry. I was trying to. Can you hear me, Brittany?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. No, I don't think that there's anything else that I wanted to add. I love what you said from Tiffany, don't say, let me know, they're not going to let you know. It's something that I still catch myself. Like, I never forget that you said that. Like, I still catch myself because it's something that I'm so used to saying that you just, yeah, like you said, take that out of your vocabulary because they're not going to let you know. I can't think of anything else that I want to add.
I'm putting right now in the comments of the chat, the YouTube channels that I recommended, Stephen Furtick, and then the ones that have good Zoom trainings. And then I also put 2 audiobooks, Rhinoceros Success and Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. Rhinoceros Success is literally $4 on iTunes, like the cheapest audiobook you'll ever buy. And then it's $4 on Amazon too. So if you have an Android, you can just buy it on the Amazon Audio or whatever. Seriously, the best audiobook I've ever listened to. I've listened to it, no joke, like 10 times. It's only like 90 pages. So you can listen to it in less than an hour. And it's one that is so good, you'll want to listen to it over and over. But it is like perfect for starting this business. And it's perfect for any stage of the business you're in. So that's a great one. And then Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, I actually just listened to this in January, and it is like powerful. Just like the way it just goes over like the way that, you know, we think about things and like our thoughts about money and stuff. And so anyways, I highly recommend those 2. So if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to, we'll go ahead and sign off, and I'll get this recording uploaded for anyone that couldn't get on live. But I hope that this was helpful to you guys. I'm so excited for everyone. I'm going to wait and see if anyone has any. If you have a straggler question, just send something in the chat so I know it's coming. But otherwise, we're going to hop off. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and hop off. I'll get this uploaded. It'll probably come on my YouTube in the middle of the morning because my internet is so slow over here. But we love you guys so much. I'm so excited. We're all here for you, cheering you on. And yeah, let's rock out February. Bye, guys.